Hello, everybody. Welcome to the worst movie podcast in the world. This week, we're going to be looking at Knives Out, Glass Onion, which is apparently a movie of contention
It's called
between
Glass
us.
Onion and Knives Out.
Well, it's the other way around. So we'll figure it out.
Glass Onion and Knives Out.
I don't have the title in front of me.
To be honest, the title doesn't matter because it's terrible.
We're rolling with this.
It's actually Glass Onion,
A Knives Out
story,
mystery.
all
A mystery. It's
Knives
all
Out mystery.
wrong.
It says right here on Letterboxd.
We're in the intro.
On Netflix.
We're introducing it.
Everything.
We're just gonna get some straight up fresh thoughts upon the film. Let's just see what people thought. We're gonna go round the room. So I'm going to start off with Joe because I can hear Joe's little mumble, and we're going to start off with Joe. Joe, first impressions straight out the gate. Just no log lines, just impressions.
No. It's the biggest piece of dog shit, man. It is fucking
preach, brother.
it is one of like the most boring things I've watched in so fucking long.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it tried to build itself up as well, and like I kind of was captured for like a good 2 minutes at the start, and then something happened in the movie about maybe 10 minutes in that decided in my mind at that very moment that I was going to hate it.
All right. And should we actually? This is just a general point. Should we do like a non-spoilery bit and then a spoilery bit and announce when we're doing that? Or we just all spoilers all the way. All right. Don't edit this out. People need to know. People need to know we're going through this.
Spoiler alert!
Right.
Spoiler alert.
So we're moving straight on.
Spoiler alert is don't watch a fucking podcast on a movie that you've not seen.
We're going straight on from Joe onto Decos because I feel like he'll have a slightly different opinion from Joe and Ryan. So we'll pace this out. Decos, what did you think?
It's all right.
Yeah.
You don't sound confident there.
Wow.
You know,
I enjoyed it. It was a fun film. The twist was okay. I was interested, but then it didn't really. It was like, oh, okay. Then moving on. Really. But it's not going to be a memorable film.
Yeah.
I'll add to that.
I'll be one of those ones where I'll go back and actually, you know what, I want to watch this. It'll just be.
There's literally no point. I mean, I'll add to that. I mean, I swear the whole concept of a movie like this is that the twist, it builds up until the big reveal. But, I mean, we won't go into too much detail just yet, but like the movie starts planting all these seeds for all these like great motives. But then when you get to the conclusion, it's like they've just pulled something out of their ass that makes no sense just to say, well, we need to wrap this film up now. So now we're just going to blame all on this, even though this is the most ridiculous, absurd conclusion. But, it doesn't matter because it's made up. I mean, it's just stupid. It is so stupid.
I mean, if they developed the characters more, the ending would make sense. But because the film isn't designed for character backgrounds and all that stuff,
should be designed for characters.
It should be, yeah, I agree.
It's the whodunit. Whodunit. Exactly. Apparently, you learn who the characers are and why you've possibly done it.
But
they literally tries to do
things.
This, but it doesn't do it well.
That's I don't want to be that guy, but I was asking Decos here, and I feel like you two have talked a lot.
No, we're hijacking.
Much like
Daniel Craig hijacked Edward Norton's, party reunion.
Ryan, I was going to ask you next. You are Puss back.
When I first watched the film, I did enjoy it mainly because the actors were good, and in terms of the actors were good, and I thought they were all solid for their roles, and I enjoyed Edward Norton. I love the diversity of Daniel Craig because I've only really seen him as James Bond.
Totally agree.
But
it's on a retrospect.
Okay film.
Thinking back on it, it gets like it doesn't really stick with you. I
don't watch too many murder mystery films, so in terms of my mind, it's an okay one.
Okay.
I'm not disappointed. I haven't left that film going, I've wasted my time.
Okay.
Okay, that's fun.
That's totally fair. Right, now we're going to move on to Ryan, who I assume has some very deep feelings about this film.
I may as well go put the kettle on because he's been a while.
Oh boy, it's boiling. I mean, I'll give it off the get-go. It's better than Knives Out. You know, I know it's kind of a controversial opinion.
I didn't think that. I like the first one more.
Most people prefer the first Knives Out, but I thought the first
most
Knives
people
Out
prefer the first
was
one
worse.
because of what's her name?
The Anna de Armas,
main woman. Yeah.
She's not very good though.
Oh, she was
not
fine.
convinced by her.
Yes, but yeah.
But anyway, you know, I know just something about this movie doesn't do it for me. I actually quite like this sort of thing, the Whodunnit. I've watched most of Death in Paradise, which is very similar in style and tone to this.
Death in Paradise is
and
good.
is
Death in
infinitely
Paradise
better.
is
I'll agree.
Infinitely better than this, and this is
At
like
least
a
the
feature
earlier
length
seasons are.
movie, not
The later seasons of Death in Paradise,
sort of on a budget by the BBC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Death in Paradise is a show where you actually learn the characters over time.
Yeah.
And you see, that's why I think this inherently doesn't work. You have to, know the characters, and even in Death in Paradise, they only give you really an hour to actually know the characters who committed the crime. It's just the detectives and all that stay the same. But this movie doesn't give you realistic characters or a realistic motivation for them to kill them. When the big twist comes, which is that Edward Norton is the killer, you're just like, I mean, I guess, you feel baited and switched almost. I know that's the point, but also a good part of filmmaking is to not make your audience feel stupid. And when you just sort of pull the rug from underneath them like this film does, you get that exact effect, Rian Johnson.
A film like this, where the whole point is, that you don't know, and you need to learn the characters, and the whole point with the audience is to you try to start piecing it together yourself. But when they start picking like these ideas that are so elaborate, that no one is going to assume that the ending's going to happen. I mean, I know skipping ahead a bit, but the whole hydrogen thing. Okay, it's so unrealistic. Like when you're watching it, you're never really going to assume that's going to be of any cause, because you don't think of it to be an actual major part of the movie, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, why has he got all this stuff? And if it's so dangerous, then why didn't the house blow up beforehand? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. It just added that. I just think it's just too silly.
Yeah. The problem I have with it is obviously the first one was sort of realistic and all that stuff. You could see that happening.
Yeah.
That's probably a situation that has happened. This one is obviously they've tried to go a bit far in terms of a murder mystery and make it an island, secluded, all that stuff. But it was a bit unrealistic. There were times where they were explaining what the glass onion is and his hygiene.
But it was irrelevant. It was so irrelevant.
Out.
Yeah, it's so irrelevant.
I knew there was supposed to be a deeper meaning with the whole glass onion and all that stuff, and they tried to explain it, but it was like, am I going to care?
Yeah.
Is this glass onion going to physically be the murderer?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, that would have been better. I'd really enjoyed that more. The house came alive. It was an AI. The AI turned on everyone.
That actually would have been good, to be fair.
That would have been way better, I think.
Yeah.
What about you, Cameron? What about you, Cameron?
I thought so I thought the film was alright. I don't think it was great by any means. I feel like my biggest pet peeve was I just didn't like anybody. I thought they were all just kind of pieces of shit. And I guess that's kind of the point they were going for. But it didn't make me feel... I didn't like anybody, so I didn't feel like I was rooting for anyone. Like, again, I feel like everyone acted I felt they acted their parts well. I just feel like they were acting to be dickheads, and I didn't really like the fact that everyone was dickheads, and it kind of pushed... Again, I thought the film was fine. I watched it. Like Diego said, I don't feel like I wasted my time. I watched it on Christmas Eve with the family. It was chill. I watched it. We moved on.
My biggest pet peeve with this film is to create murder and to create suspense and all that, and to try and throw you off. Could this be the killer? Could this not? All that stuff. You're supposed to obviously there's some degree of just giving a whole red herring and all that. The thing that pissed me off is making Dave Bautista's character's girlfriend seem like a cheating arsehole.
That was your classic.
She was doing it for Yeah, but I was pissed off and I fucking hated that character for what she did, just to find out I should have been pissed off at him. And it's like, But that didn't add to the story. There was no relevance to that story.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, ultimately, the entire film was getting us to figure out who was going to kill Edward Norton. For the twist to be, you've wasted your time.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
But because that was the point. The point of the movie was that it was dumb. It told you that. It lampshaded it. You can't criticize it. Rian Johnson knocks it out of the park again.
I know, but at the same time, it's just... It's annoying.
Like how hey Ryan,
it's like the whole Finn and the Rose segment in Last Jedi. If you cut it,
he broke it up. He broke it up. He broke it up. Ryan, what are your opinions on The Last Jedi? Rian Johnson's directing in that
film. I don't like him. But
yeah, he's out the
if you spent they could have had a whole 2 hours of orgies and then found out he was the killer, and it would be the same.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the intro segment.
Oh yeah,
we're going to be chugging along with
Ass Onion.
Whoa! You interrupt.
Cocktail mystery.
You're
also
when they were
talking about. Also, when they were talking about the symbolism of the glass onion, all I was just thinking is Shrek.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
The whole
Shrek.
Donkey.
Onion. The whole thing of the onion just makes you think of Shrek. That's actually part of why the thumbnail on the video for this is green, because subconsciously I think of Shrek.
Right, next segment. We're moving on to the log.
Hang on, I got one more point. But Glass Onion fits in with the trilogy of rich assholes getting their comeuppance films that have come out this year, all set in like exotic islands.
That seems to be a thing.
There is Glass Onion, Triangle of Sadness, and The Menu. Glass Onion is easily the worst of the three.
Agreed.
Okay, right. Next segment. Let's brush up on the movie, or it's like showing on the screen right now. Logline Showdown.
Logline Showdown. Each week we compete to see who can come up with the best logline, and at the end of the year, he who has the most points will get a fucking sweet prize.
Sweet prize.
What is the sweet prize?
There's no prize.
Don't ask what the sweet prize is. That's rule one of the sweet prize.
You don't find out till you win it.
Yeah, that's it. It's a mystery. Just
anyway,
who shall we start? I mean, at the moment, I think the points are me and Ryan both have a point so far. So I think since he's been in the least so far, I think Dekos should go first. I want to hear his log line first.
Friends Vacation turned murder mystery gone wrong, gone Southern Daniel Craig.
God.
I was going to do gone sexual, but there wasn't any sexual. Really.
But there was the bit where she bangs Edward Norton.
Yeah, but that bit just pissed me off. I didn't want to talk about it.
Gone Southern Daniel Craig. I don't. It's not like you say that.
Am I wrong about the? Am I wrong?
No, you are right. You should have heard Ryan's last week. It's fucking incredible.
Right.
But we are now watch last week's episode if you want to know right now.
Onto Joe.
A better episode. There's no Dekos. There's no Cameron. It's just me and Joe.
Just two dysfunctional assholes who don't know how to talk to
each other. We're moving steadily on to Joe with the log line.
Joe,
please give us the log line. Ryan, no interrupting.
My going it. Okay. This movie is the pitiful downfall of a once great international spy turned subpar detective with a fucking stupid voice. There you go. That sums up the film quite nicely.
I like his voice.
Don't even get me started.
It's better than in the first one, but it might be conditioning.
The action, it was so appalling. Like, it was embarrassingly bad. It was the worst part.
I feel like it added to the charm, but it was so bad though.
There was no charm.
Nick Cage in on-air levels of bad. The movie, both Knives Out and Glass Onion, are infinitely better if Daniel Craig just speaks in his normal voice, because he's got quite a nice normal voice.
Yeah, they should have just have him as being British detective.
Just make some shit up. Literally,
these things. They're based on books, aren't they? These films.
Yeah, but like,
are they?
It adds nothing. It
being
based on books, there is nothing added.
That is terrible writing. All right, Cameron, your go.
All right, I've got quite a simple logline, and it is: this film was Joseph Gordon-Levitt's magnum opus.
What the fuck do you what? That mean?
What? So, explain this.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in this movie. Did you guys happen to spot where he was in it?
Is he?
He
okay,
is.
No, this is
he
the
is
same
the dong.
I didn't spot this.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt voices the dong, and that is it in the movie. He's the thing that goes dong. That's it.
Doesn't he
that's his contribution to the film. Yeah, that's all. Okay. And they got Joseph Gordon-Levitt to voice the dong. That's it. That's all they got him in there for.
I need someone to fact check this, because that's the case.
That was genuinely
hilarious.
Might be the winner.
On IMDb, he's credited as the hourly dong.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
That's why the film is Joseph Gordon-Levitt's magnum opus.
How did you figure that out?
Well, no, I saw it on IMDb. It said he was the hourly dog.
There's a weirder credit.
That's actually quite funny.
Yeah, there's a weirder credit, which is Ethan Hawke as Efficient Man.
Yeah, he was the guy that shot the little sanitizer in their mouths.
All right, Ryan, get to yours.
Where's Rian Johnson?
Okay.
I want to see what he whips out this week, because last week he came out with some fucking bibliography of it.
That's the opposite of a logline, right?
Yeah, my loglines are pretty loose on the logline.
All right, go on then, Ryan.
Okay, Daniel Craig thinks there might be an imposter among us, and everyone is sus.
Oh, that was
okay. I like that. That's also good.
This could apply to both of them.
That's also very good. I think it's a toss-up between, in my opinion, between Cameron and Ryan's. Because I mean, Ryan, I like yours. You know, a little reference. I mean, he does play Among Us.
They 100%
know that Daniel Craig aside at the start of the film went, okay, we're filming this scene where you're playing a game called Among Us, and this is the movie, by the way. The movie is
they start Among Us game.
You're gonna play Among Us just to get in the mood to film the rest of the film, and that's why it's shit.
God damn
it's also the fact that Daniel Craig
Among Us in real life,
and yet he has the second best southern accent in the film.
Yeah.
All right, who are we voting for then?
I can't vote for myself, so
I'm going to vote. I'd honestly vote for DCOS just for the Gone Southern.
Okay, well, I'm going to vote for Joe. I was going to vote for Cameron. That was stuck.
Right, next segment.
What do you mean we got to pick a winner?
I do one.
I guess we all won.
We all win in.
Look at that. Look how wholesome this podcast is. We all came out with participation trophies.
I refuse.
All right then.
Then you lose.
I'm going to change my vote. I'm going to change my vote just for the sake of it. Then I'm just going to go with DCOS then.
Hey!
Yeah.
All right, DCOS, you win.
One step closer to the prize.
One step. We're all on like 1 point except Cameron now.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Although I think I should technically be on 2, because I'm pretty sure I won the first week, but I don't know why.
First week doesn't count.
Why?
First week doesn't count.
It's part of it, no? Episode 1.
It is an experimental episode.
All right, okay. I think we could move on now.
All right.
No points for the tutorial. No points for the tutorial.
Right. Skipping on ahead, we are going to head to the general discussion. And first off, we're going to go with that movie had a story. Let's talk about it. So let's just...
Did it?
Well,
I don't know if we can talk about it,
but not one that made much sense, let's be honest.
They tried to execute the story, but
just execute the concept of a story.
To be honest, I would have rather seen Edward Norton's plan and them trying to figure it out. I think that would have been interesting.
I would have rather a movie that was meant to, when they set up in the first half an hour of it being based off an actual who did it game, and then have it actually that seems more interesting to me than what actually happened. I get it was a twist that he figured it out straight away, but then the rest of the films just kind of they just kind of sit around until all of a sudden he's figured it out at the end.
Yeah, it's true.
Like he just pieced it all to like the first half an hour had no relevance to the rest of the film, and for the rest of the film, there's not really much built on. I mean, honestly, I think the whole idea of the twin was dumb as fuck. Like, I mean, why would
twin stuff always is like when
you've only given the character, you've only given her a twin just to make your own story make sense. Otherwise, you have to actually use.
If you remove the twin, there's a plot hole.
Yeah, God forbid you actually use the background story that you set up between the actual, like the other, like the actual sister who was her partner, who actually had a vendetta, and he had a vendetta against her. God forbid you actually use them in the same room. Oh no! Let's just get rid of her and use a twin, even though the twin's going to act like the main character throughout the whole time, but she is a twin. Don't worry. I mean, why? That's just irrelevant. You just added complications there for no reason. Oh, and then she dies. Oh, no, she doesn't die. We're not going to kill her because we need her. Because we need her now.
Yeah, that bit was. Come on.
Like, if you're going to kill her, just kill her. It's a murder mystery. You can't just start saving people because your own story won't make sense if you take out the one bit you put in there.
Lucky. It was just you can't. It's like it just wouldn't happen. It was unbelievable.
They explain how she survived.
I found Puss in Boots more believable.
You're telling me a billionaire is definitely going to have a shit ton of guns, all right? Because they always have guns. You're telling me that he shoots her in the one spot that has stupid... Why is a diary stopping it? What?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Actually, what weak-ass gun is he using that the bullet gets stopped by a diary? Yeah. Why isn't he there with a goddamn deagle just blasted through her chest?
Was it the Calibri or whatever it was?
The little pistol.
Yeah.
Using one of those.
Also, right, people, I'm hoping they can see my mouse right now. I've got the general discussion as an image of every character. There's that one, like, you know, the assistant to the woman who was on the magazine, like, with the blood diamond.
She is, like, one of the main characters.
Why is she, like, on the posters and everything? She was in it for, like, 2 seconds. Like, she contributed nothing. She's just there.
And also, as well, again, this is just another thing.
This woman. Everyone look at the mouse. This one. Who? What did they actually do? They were just there.
Why was it necessary to have that random hobo live on the island? He actually brought nothing. They didn't even
funny.
They didn't even use him as I'm sorry, but the
goat.
You're telling me he's like the greatest detective in America, and he didn't once bring up the fact that there is a randomer on the island. Like what?
Yeah, what?
It wasn't mentioned once, and except when like what's her face walked into his room. Like, did nobody suspect?
What's her face, Joe?
Nah, the twin. Didn't she stumble into his room when she was like searching for the envelope?
Yeah.
Like, why is he there? Oh, it's funny. His room's full of weed. Wow, that's great. Congratulations, you've given a guy who looks like a surfer.
2 of the characters, you only needed one of them. So there was the scientist guy, and there was the the politician woman. They were both
the exact same.
The whole point is they were both being blackmailed by him to push the whole hydrogen stuff. Like they were both the same. You only need one of them to get that point across. He's blackmailing someone to pushing it to make him look like a bad dude. You don't need both of them. They were just like...
I didn't get why she needed to do it, though. Like, why did she need to push it?
No one needed to do anything in this film.
Like, I'm not being funny. What did he have on her? Oh, she lied in court, but, like, he's not going to say that because then he's admitting his own scam.
He did it. So, he murdered them.
So I literally... I didn't understand why, what the whole motive was. Because they were both like, oh, we need him on our side because we lied for him in court. But he's not going to go tell the world that.
Yeah,
he's literally telling his own scam that he made.
It's not because they lied for him. It's because he's funding both of their projects. So his research, he's got like a research facility that is entirely funded by Edward Norton.
I'm sorry. The woman who's going...
The political campaign is also funded by Edward Norton, so they both...
What position was she going for?
Politician person.
Was she going for president?
No, not president.
No, just like politician. Yeah,
and you're telling me that that everyone loves her, but if one billionaire pulls out suspiciously, that her whole thing's going to whole campaign.
The idea is that is the one billionaire that's like pushing her, and then he's using all of his influence to push her even further. And it's like, it basically collapses if your main donor just goes.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of it, but you know,
it's kind of
the weakest motive was Batista's character. Like, I'm sorry,
he was just
come on, cuckold fetish. That's a good motive.
but what was the bit? What
He's
was
a
Edward
fucking
Norton's
dude,
character
bro.
actually doing for him? How did he get him more subs?
Because
don't get
he
it.
basically uncancelled him. That's pretty much it. It's like, so he was giving him like a spot on TV, even though he'd already been cancelled. So he's able to.
How can he be cancelled if he's still getting loads of subs and viewers?
Oh,
Obviously, he isn't
That's
cancelled.
so cringe that they even include that.
They say
It's
at the
just-
start that he didn't, that he was sort of failing, and then Edward Norton comes in and.
I don't know, man. I just think it was.
And then also, of course, like the new angle.
Although I do want to say, as much as I'm shitting on this film, I'm starting to really like the roles that Batista's getting these days. I think he's doing pretty good in films. He was really good in Knock at the Cabin. He's basically the main. He's the main character, and he's so good in it. And honestly, I know he gets
Joe,
compared.
you're shilling Knock on the Cabin as much as Ryan shills Till. I swear, like you've brought it up.
No. It's a good film. It's a good film, but you know how obviously like there's the three main WWE wrestlers turned actors that they all get compared to. Obviously, there's The Rock, there's John Cena, and there's Dave Batista. Everyone always thinks that The Rock is the biggest, but every single role he does is the same.
It's the same guy.
That's because The Rock is definitely a movie star. Like the appeal of The Rock is.
Yeah, but
Batista's
an actor, man. Like the roles he's getting are actually
every contract The Rock has to win. That's the thing. That's in his contract for all his films. He always has to win.
Yeah, and he can't be the bad guy. That's why in Black Adam he's not like a pure anti-hero, becomes like a hero at the end, apparently, according to people who watched it.
What happens? Because I've never watched
he's actually a good dude in it, and it's like, because he can't be portrayed as bad. It's like, honestly, what? Who puts that in their contract to begin with? Like, what? Anyway, no Rock.
I mean, he calls himself the Rock.
No Rock bashing.
Bash the Rock. The Pebble.
The Pebble.
The Pebble.
Bro, he's been the one guy that listens to this episode.
Right. Dude, The Rock is fucking super easy to beat in a fight. You just buy a notepad, paper beat Rock.
That is the worst joke I've ever heard in my life.
Thank you.
That was poor. That was so bad.
Yeah, who would say that joke? I didn't say that before he did.
I've got.
Wait, hold on a minute. Wait.
Rian Johnson.
Did Ryan just steal that poor joke off Tegan? That makes it even worse. He tried to jump the gun.
Yeah, I said it and nobody listened, and then you said it.
That makes it even worse.
Great minds think alike. Okay.
I
didn't actually hear. I didn't hear.
Minus a point. Minus a point.
Anyway, I'm just gonna lose a second. What the fuck?
What has happened?
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Right.
I want to loop back. I want to loop back to Dave Batista.
Why?
What?
Should we let him?
There, by the way, did you?
Audience, should we let him? I think they're saying no.
No, it's not a dumb cut point.
We'll loop. Let's loop back.
It's not even Dave Batista. It's just what he did. He has a
Everyone, if you want to skip this segment,
his phone in this movie.
We'll leave a tab in the movie thing so you can skip over this.
Damn it! No, don't stop talking. You don't get the point. So just looping back to Dave Batista for a second. In this movie, he has a notification alert on his phone for any reference to movies, which means that Dave Batista in this movie is a potential viewer of our podcast.
Oh,
that boosts us.
Oh, that does.
We're gonna have him as a special guest next week.
Yeah, Batista. Yeah, we're subbing him in for
we'll
Ryan.
have a Burger King sponsorship.
Imagine how viral that would go. If like a subpar 12 subscribers podcast all of a sudden one week.
12
it's
now?
like
Damn.
we got 12. I know. We're really growing.
Right, next segment. Effects, camera, action. All right. Now there wasn't a lot of effects, cameras, or action. So this is gonna be a very short segment.
Was trash as well.
So let's just discuss. We're gonna roll through this.
I like the fate I like the imitation of like the Jurassic Park scene where there's someone around the corner. Him.
Wait, which scene was
Do you guys
that?
like that?
Yeah, where all the lights go out.
Mm.
Then everyone shits themselves, and then that woman peers around the corner, and Edward Norton's got the gun.
Yeah,
it was basically an imitation of Jurassic Park.
I thought that was cool.
There
was one bit that stood out to me. The rest of it I didn't care, but there was one bit. It was when like stuff you could tell something was about to happen, and they kept flicking the switch on the Mona Lisa painting. It kept like going and like getting louder.
That was good.
And you could it was building the tension with that. That was the one bit I liked with like that just whole thing going on. I like that when they were building
because you referenced the fact that every time you look at the Mona Lisa, the face, like her face is supposed to like sort of change. So I picked up on that sort of thing, and it sort of, I think, just in my brain made it look like that it was changing, but it probably wasn't.
Yeah. The whole plot line with the Mona Lisa actually was probably more interesting than the rest of what was going on. Like, when they were doing that though, that scene where they were cutting to and from, like back to it all the time, I was more invested and curious as to what that was gonna like.
I wanted to know what it was insinuating. I didn't really care what they were doing.
I actually had way too high expectations and thought they were going to go down some like Da Vinci Code line, like there's going to be some
because
like,
they had the Mona Lisa
plot with the Mona Lisa and everything.
The Mona Lisa's so just obviously like well crafted or whatever. It was they were basically drawing from just like almost like the tension behind it being so. They were just basing. They got half their tension from the fact that it's just it was in real life. Like it's just a genuinely like important painting and stuff. So the fact that stuff's going on with that. And so they couldn't create their own, so they have to find something else that can create it for them, which is something that people could inadvertently be like, oh man, they're messing around the Mona Lisa, that's tense. It's like, no, create your own situation, be unique, create your own painting, I don't care. Like, what?
To quote Connor for real, Mona Lisa, you're an overrated piece of shit.
Okay. Hey, I know nothing about art. I just know people like it. I do not care for it. But...
Yeah, Cameron didn't even know Da Vinci did code, not just paint.
Wait, what?
Oh my god.
Da Vinci made Python.
It makes sense.
Code.
I was really wondering if that joke was going to land, and the fact that Cameron just dived straight into that was quite impressive, actually.
Yeah, I'm grateful. Imagine Ian art, eh?
I mean, I actually do it at uni, and I still don't understand it. So,
not that good.
Brian, any comment on the effects, cameras, or action, or like general stuff in this?
I guess my comment on the effects, camera, action of this film is.
Tell me one thing you liked and one thing you didn't like.
Oh, there's nothing I particularly liked.
There's got to be something.
Generally, the mark of a good director is that you can sort of tell in a way that they made it. Think like like unique styles, like Martin Scorsese films. You can always sort of tell it's a Scorsese.
The Russo
film.
brothers.
What? Honestly, I will give you that.
They do.
You can tell Russo films
when they left
do
Community.
direct action quite well. I don't like most of their movies, but I'll give them that. I'll give them that they do action well. But anyone could have made this film. I mean, hell, the tagline for it is a Rian Johnson Whodunnit. It could be a literally insert name here, Whodunnit, and it still checks out. It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really have personality to it. This film at all. It's just very.
I just can't get over the voice.
Yeah,
I can't get over the voice.
I didn't feel like
comment on the voice. Did you know that they actually considered a running joke for all four of these films that
there's going to be
Daniel Craig would do it? Yeah, but there's going to be four. But Daniel Craig for each film would do a different voice, and they decided to scrap it. We could have been saved from a second.
I would actually rather prefer that because then at least they know. Like the fact that I really hope.
Of a joke. Not.
I really hope. I mean, this is bound to have happened. But the fact that Daniel Craig, a guy known for like a really strong role in a massive franchise, he's although he hasn't done loads of a variety of movies that I'm aware of, he's quite respected because of his role in James Bond. However, it actually annoys me that there will definitely have been people, probably the director, going up to him going, "No, you sound great, man. You sound really good. Yeah, it's really convincing," and probably boosting him more. I mean, it's just terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So you just talking about what not James Bond, what Daniel Craig's been in, prompted me to go off and look up what he's in. It's mostly James Bond. I gotta be honest. But he's in Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
he's a
stormtrooper.
Yeah,
stormtrooper. I had absolutely no.
That's a better performance. A better performance as a stormtrooper than as the detective in Glass Onion. I mean, it's a hot take, but I'm putting it out there.
I hope their next film they're in.
I
hope in their next film they're in Texas and he's just the only one with a normal accent.
No, the next film will probably be on the fucking moon or something. Let's be honest, the way they're going. No, it'll be a moon whodunit.
I mean, I actually quite like a moon whodunit. It'd be pretty unique.
No,
Neptune, how could you murder Uranus?
Oh God, that was poor.
Out of all the...
Right, yeah, of course, Rian Johnson. It's all added right.
You can cut that.
We are not. That is a short. That is a short right there.
We need to put a counter in like one of the corners.
How many times?
By Ryan.
Right.
That's a clip idea in itself.
100% of the shots you don't take miss, and in my case, 100% of the shots I take miss.
I'm so proud you didn't scoff that.
That was about to be a third point on the count now. You scuffed that.
Thank you, Daddy Decast.
Oh, Christ.
Right, that's enough for the effects camera action section. Let's
clip that.
There's literally nothing else to talk about with the effects because there was nothing
else.
So
next up,
I mean, I really enjoyed the camera angle where they're all sitting on the sofas. Oh, wait, that was the entire film. Oh, yeah. It should have just been a one shot.
He was on a bike at that one point.
He what?
He was on a bike at that one point, which is like the sofa of the highway.
Also, the problem is, one thing that annoyed me with the whole twin thing is the fact that she's supposed to be this genius who created the hydrogen thing.
Yeah.
So she sent an email with the proof.
Yeah, I know, and wrote it down in a letter.
Yo, dude, they can read those emails. That's a pretty good one.
In a letter.
You want to get the truth out there, send it in an email. That shit will be straight.
Like, why did she fucking tell him?
Yeah, but
why didn't she just do it? She hated him so much that instead of just exposing him like you would normally, she decided to be dramatic and put it in a red envelope. I mean, wow, that's a great choice, isn't it? They're never going to find that if they break into the house, are they? He didn't hide it very well, putting it in a red fucking envelope.
The fact that they waved it in his face for him to just set on fire.
Yeah. And again, I mean, that whole thing with the envelope, yeah. I think that's again them trying their hardest. Like, I think they probably realised at one point while making this film that the story is so stupid and veering off what an actual whodunit movie is going to be like. So, what we'll do, we'll put the envelope in a really shitty puzzle, just so it looks like we're still a detective film. Oh yeah, it was behind the fucking drawing with the circles and the squares. That makes sense, doesn't it? I just hate this film, man.
But of course, right, we're meandering. All right, next segment. Hopefully this will be a shorter one. People can act, but can they? So we're going to be looking specifically at just in general how people were acting in this.
It wasn't bad.
I thought it was fine. I mean,
I've already said I enjoyed.
You look at the names in this, and you compare that with the standard that you expect from these people, and then you realise just how bad it is. I mean,
Edward Norton was pretty good in it. To be fair, I quite enjoyed his character.
But I feel like they could all do better. Like, actually, if you just thought of these as all like no-name actors, for example, or these are all like debuts for people, you'd be like, yeah, that's all right. But these are pretty big, well-known actors. Dave Bautista, I'd say, is the only guy who really holds his weight.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Catherine Hahn, I mean, she can do so much better than she does in this.
But then you have to put it like that's not down to the actor. That's down to the shitty script they were given.
Yeah, it's a poor script, but you can. I feel like a really, genuinely very good actor can do something with a terrible script still.
Like The Rock.
Stand out, but none of it.
Like The Rock. Never like The Rock.
When's his Oscar, by the way? I don't know.
It's coming.
I feel like he's been snubbed.
Black Adam 2.
Black Adam 2.
I mean, did you see? I I seen a
he really wants to make
poster.
it, doesn't he? But no studio pick it up. So maybe he's just rich enough at this point that he can just
He can
make it
his
himself,
own, yeah.
directed,
His own
written,
movie.
and starring The Rock.
I saw a poster
Is
that
Norbit.
like took a screenshot of like
No, but yeah,
The Rock
he
in costume
doesn't
for his.
want. No, Ryan, he doesn't want an Oscar. He just. I'm not
He
even
wants a
gonna say that.
WWE belt,
He
man.
wants a Rocky.
He wants a Rolling Stone.
Edit that out.
I saw a thing, yeah.
It's staying in.
I saw a thing where like that they took a screenshot of The Rock and not his most recent. This was probably like this was before Black Adam, but took a photo of him in costume for his past 3 movie roles, excluding Black Adam, and they were like, "Okay, I want you to match the picture to the title," and he looks the same in every single one. It's him with like a beige shirt
it's the same
on.
actor, Joe.
But there was that Disney Jungle Cruise where he wore funny little hats.
It was
as
the
well.
silly hat.
The funny
Oh, the
hat.
silly hat.
No,
but it
the
was
hat.
like the center of the race to the center of the earth, whatever it's called. That one that we tried to watch the other week, like remember around yours.
Oh yeah,
And
where he had
also
hair.
Jumanji. Yeah,
He
and
had
also
hair.
Jumanji. All the outfits are the same.
Yeah. I mean, if it ain't broke, they make money.
It is broke. It's very much broke.
Yeah, hopefully it will be. That's what I'm hoping. Right, yeah, it seems like there wasn't much to comment on about the acting. So,
No, actually, but the person who played the villain in Wonder she was just a
He was
person.
all right. No, she was pretty good.
Oh yeah, that's
The
Catherine
professor
Hahn.
was okay. He just didn't. He wasn't really given much to act with, but a few. You can't believe you're doing this sort of things. The old woman, I can't remember her name is. She was just meh. It's like she looked like she was picked off the street.
Bruh.
She looked like she was just picked off the street, really, and been told.
Yeah, I didn't really. I know I recognize her from somewhere. She isn't old.
Actress.
She's like the one who's on the magazine.
The one that's jealous.
Oh yeah. Wait, who's that again?
Oh, the Edward Norton's ex.
I hope she hears this. I hope she listens to this podcast. And Deagle's called her old.
She is old, isn't she?
No, she's not that old.
Jesus.
Yeah, like what?
She's like middle-aged.
Kate Hudson.
She was about 70. I thought it was a point of character.
I didn't even know.
She's 43.
That's older than my mum and dad.
She's not 43. She's at least
that's your
like
problem.
80.
That's a whole other set of issues.
There's no issue.
Not that old.
Dave Bautista was solid for what he was given.
I enjoy him in films. It's good.
The assistant of the not so old Kate Hudson.
Useless, pointless.
She was useless, but I've seen her in a few other things. And
she was in You, Me, and Dupree. Good. That's where I recognize her from. Hey, Ryan, have you watched You, Me, and Dupree yet?
No.
That's what I should have told you to put on the list. You, Me, and Dupree. Owen Wilson. It's great.
I enjoy Daniel Craig. I enjoy Daniel Craig's accent and all that. So
hey, I found it. Yeah, I wasn't like offended, but I thought it was. I
like the fact that I know that Daniel Craig has a nice voice.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed the fact that I'm listening to Daniel Craig do something different.
Yeah, I was like, silly Texan man, haha.
I like the fact that he was just a silly Texan
but he did something different. I mean, one of his other strongest films, I'd say, besides James Bond, is when he was in The Woman with the Dragon Tattoo. But that's because they didn't force him to be like he just acted in that, and it was really good. And he just had a British accent. Like he doesn't need to speak funny. Like if he'd speak normally, because I think the accent brings.
I'm pretty sure Daniel Craig.
You make a that voice.
The point is that
awful.
When you take someone. When you take someone and make them do an accent as distinctive as the Texas one,
I'm pretty sure he asked to do that.
Yeah, no, but my point is that the Texas accent is quite a distinct one. Okay, so now for me, it didn't sound like he was a person, like he was doing an accent. It sounded like an impression of a Texas person, and then at that point, that impression of the Texas accent becomes the character. Like it doesn't matter what he's doing because he just has to say every line with like a silly voice. So like it just takes away. Like, you can't act when it's not your fluent accent. Like when it's like that. When you're doing an impression of something.
No, I think you can. Another British actor who did just, I guess, general American accent quite well is Martin Freeman in Fargo, in season 1 of Fargo. I think he does quite a good.
No, but there's a better.
But when you do this accent, it should add to the value of the film.
I think that's enough talk about Daniel Craig's accent now.
All right. One more point for this segment before I guess we move on to the tier list. Would you guys eat the Jeremy Renner hot sauce?
Yes.
Yeah, I would actually.
Almost definitely.
There's a lot of cameos in this film, isn't there?
Yeah, same in the first one, but Jeremy Renner hot sauce is the peak. I think it might be. I think the Jeremy Renner hot sauce is the best bit of this entire movie by far.
Like without knowing, they've actually created a subplot of Jeremy Renner's life that if he inevitably can never act again, he may have to create a hot sauce to fund himself.
Jeremy Renner is the type of guy to go full robot leg and just keep acting.
That's what I said. I wouldn't be surprised if Hawkeye season 2. He's like a half cyborg now at this point.
Half cyborg.
You mean in tag 2, Joe?
Yeah, tag. Come on.
Oh shit! Yeah.
In tag 2, because he loses at tag in the first one, he has to.
He lose a tag, lose your legs. Right. Next segment, we're going on to the score. Right.
Yes.
So we have Everything Everywhere All at Once at S, Fight Club at A, Crank at B. Where are we? Right, we're going to go through everyone. Everyone's going to give a ranking. We'll just find the average of that and put it there. So we're going to start off.
Well, no, that's boring. We argue it out. You got to.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, we'll get a rating from everyone first.
Find
then
the
we
average,
can
Cameron.
Then we can find it out.
The entire point of segment.
You hosting this, right? This is how we're doing. So we're going to start. I was going to start with Ryan. We're now going to start with DCOS. So DCOS.
Well, I give it a C. Just a solid
DCOS gives it a C. He gives it a C. Right, Joe. What do you give it?
I mean, I'll be honest. I've already thought about this. Okay. I think C is way too fucking high for this. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. My first thought is it's got to go in the void.
Oh my god!
It's got to be void. However,
many worse films.
There's so many. You put this in the void.
No.
You made a statement by putting it
before we started this, I had it set on that when we got to the tier list, I was going to argue a point for void. However, after talking about it, there are some funny points and stuff. You can talk about some bits. So I will be a bit more lenient and I'll move it up to like F.
So yeah, I will say the point of the void is that the universe would genuinely be a better place if this movie never existed.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit high, so I'll go F. I really
void is a desolate realm from which nothing can ever return.
Right, so
doom to the rent it for a penny. Yeah.
So we're gonna get Ryan's opinion on it now. Brian,
maybe.
Now, you see, I much like Joe originally wanted to condemn this film to the depths of the void.
There's so many more films that could warrant going into the void.
There are many.
I don't think
have you ever heard of Amsterdam?
Is that bad?
Amsterdam, that belongs in the void. We ever do that film?
Where are you putting it, Ryan?
I just think there's so many. I think it's just a film, which is C.
No, okay.
Ryan, where
much deliberation. I'm not as harsh as Joe, or as lenient as Joe, I guess. Okay. But I will give this film E tier. I think there's much worse out there, but it isn't good. It doesn't do a lot well.
You have to remember.
It's okay. It's better. It's more watchable than the first one. But saying that a movie's watchable just doesn't mean it's good or okay.
So I was thinking like around like a D sort of area, but I'm willing to go either up to
3.5 on Letterboxd, Karen. You're putting it in D tier.
I put it down to a 3 on Letterboxd right now, right? So I'm thinking around a D because that's kind of in the middle of the rung. But I'm happy to put it down to it. Thing is, this isn't just my opinion. This is collectively everyone's opinion.
Interesting.
So I'm happy to put it at an E.
I think it would have to be a high. We're all quite low down. And I know I said we should do this, but the average of me, you, and Cameron is E. Now, Dekos, explain why you believe this film should be a C tier.
You need to fight its cause now.
Yeah, you're the one you're sort of the outlier of above the mid.
The problem is, you guys watch films and you guys analyze and you go way too deep into it. My first viewing
We're doing
of the film,
movie podcast.
Yeah, I know. But from a person who, let's say, we're talking to the audience who's never seen this film, if you go into the film with an open mind, as a casual viewer, it will literally be just a film. You won't remember it, you won't recommend it, but you won't really have anything to slate it. And if you can't really slate it because you can't remember it, then
I think
there's nothing good and nothing bad. Therefore, it's in the middle. It's C.
Yeah, but if you can't remember it, then it means it wasn't
but
very good.
In my opinion,
if you can't remember,
yeah, but if you've got a film,
I can't remember brushing my teeth this morning. Doesn't mean it's a C tier experience.
You didn't, did you?
Yeah, Ryan didn't.
I just chewed chewing gum.
In my opinion, from what I think of a tier list is, C is just you've got no real opinion. If you've got one of a few problems, it's D. Then it slowly gets more and more.
I think C is actually a solid.
This is the most critically acclaimed tier list out there. Okay, so we have to be very.
Because I feel like if it's literally it's just okay and you can watch it, pretty much everything's gonna be above a C except for what belongs in the void.
True. You got to be.
In my opinion,
you can't give something marks.
I enjoyed it.
Okay, I don't think.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and I liked the acting and all that stuff. So I give it a C. I just enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable film, and I liked it. If I watch it again, it probably won't because I recommend it.
Will you watch it again though?
Well, yeah. That's a good.
I think
probably.
I would never watch.
Will you? Will you though? Digos, if you get to, if you're just chilling one night,
I think
in like a year's time, and you want to watch a film, will you genuinely consider watching this movie? Like, I'll be honest. Or is it a film that you watch the one time and you go, yeah, it was okay? Then okay, but
I'd say if it's a movie that you wouldn't willingly watch again, not because it can't be in C. Then, for example, something like
I would like to point out I would willingly watch Thor: Dark World again. So you guys.
Oh God!
Dear.
I think with that statement alone, I think we have to just discuss around the EF.
Let's put it in E. Let's put it in E. Let's just put it in E.
Oh no! Well, no. I think
now Joe feels bad.
I'm happy with E. That's what I voted for.
Well,
fuck you, Rian Johnson. You're not in the Ryan Club. You're
right.
Out.
We're gonna need some.
We're gonna need after Last Jedi, but not after Looper, not after Glass on Your.
It's fine. All right, we'll dump it in E. We'll put it. Tell you what, we'll put it as a high E. We'll put it high up in E.
We'll go high E.
With the power of movie magic, Glass Onion has been placed in the E tier, just about escaping the dark clutches of the void where Joe's wicked words would have once sent this film. However, not reaching the saving graces of the mighty C tier, it's been placed in the lowly but passable E tier. Glass Onion. Will we remember
if you get an E on your, your maths test.
What? It's on maths.
You're not passing it.
Something I would. Something.
1998's Pie would beg to differ.
Yeah. Now,
what is Letterboxd rated out of?
On Letterboxd, it has a 3. It's out of 5, and this film has a 3.7 average.
I don't understand how you could put a 3-star film in D tier.
Hey, it's been done. It's been done.
Not D tier.
Because
it's
3 stars.
It's final.
People watch Mark Wahlberg films.
It's locked in there.
Okay, right. All right.
10.
Letterboxd is my personal viewing, Decos. This is for everyone to see.
All right, now that
yeah, but it's your personal opinion.
I know, but it's also like everyone's personal opinion. I'm like, this is just going to cause the least. Like, it should. Well, not that it causes the least amount of trouble. Just kind of like I've been speaking to everyone.
You got trouble. You put Glass on your above E tier.
I have been retrospecting on the film, and I feel like I've been thinking about it. We've been chatting about it. It's probably gone down. I'm probably going to bog it down on my Letterboxd as well, to be fair. Probably
it's cemented.
The thing is, you guys criticize me for putting in C, but most of the films Ryan's going to suggest over the next time, every time we do this podcast, will be E, D, F and void.
Well, no, because we're doing Puss in Boots next week, and that's gonna be a solid S tier. So there's no worries there.
I got a little list of movies that I'm not coming out here with Amsterdam every week.
Yes, let me guess. Brian, let me guess. Is the Italian Job on there?
It actually isn't, because no one's watched that movie.
Yeah, no, because we're doing Puss in Boots next week. Puss in Boots.
This week, not necessarily a question, but this week, just to end up, I want to ask, and I'm going to go with Ryan for this, in case, but everyone can do it if they want. Ryan, I pose this to you. I want to hear your best attempt at the Texas accent in honor of Daniel Craig. In honor of Daniel Craig's Oscar-winning performance.
Oscar-winning performance.
So Ryan, go. I want shoot a sentence. Your best Texas accent in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, hey, boy. I see you've got them there cattle there. They've been looking like I need a rustling. Me and my boy here, we've been traveling over from Dallas. And you see, I think we could do a good work on your ranch.
See,
now,
he's been training too much.
We just need shelter and food and honest day's pay. And, me and my brother here, we're respectable gentlemen.
You sound the same.
I would argue that is a better accent than in the film.
I feel like Ryan's incorporated that accent too much into his actual linguistics that he speaks with, because you sound like that on a regular basis. Right? I'm gonna put it.
Would anybody else like to try top that?
Was there genuinely no difference?
No.
There was there was difference, but not a lot. There was surprising.
It was pretty good.
That was different. I couldn't.
Yeah, it was weird. I didn't like it. No one else is that's Ryan's take.
I didn't say tarnation. If I'd have said intarnation, I could have got into the voice.
See, that's
what intarnation you got here? Rootin' and tilting.
That was pretty good.
I want to kill myself.
Diaz was more of a Louisiana accent. There was a slight, there was some swamp in
down here from Louisiana. Got these alligators.
Yeah, there was some swamp. Diaz had too much swamp.
What's the no with Joe? Joe asked the question. You all have to participate. So come on, Cameron. Your southern accent.
All right, I'm warming up. See, my voice is in. You've heard my British voice. It read down the drain because of my throat. Right. I can try.
You're doing a pretty good British voice right now.
Well, thank you, Ryan. That's very kind of you. That warmed my heart a little bit there. Kept the blood flowing.
All right, come on. We need to hear this. Let's go.
Now, boy, we're gonna have to take you down to the goddamn ranch, and we're gonna take you in there with a couple of bulls. And those bulls. Okay, I've lost it. I got the bulls and it was gone.
That was good.
The first word was very good, and then
it trailed. I could feel my throat. The throat was taking it off. It's the throat. I swear. It's not the fact that I'm just.
Anyway, guys, please enjoy the video. Please.
Thank you for watching.
We haven't got to Joe's voice.
No, I don't do it.
No, you do a voice.
I asked the question.
You answered the question last week.
Ryan.
No. It's the rules of the game.
You did an accent on one of these.
Yeah, we don't want to go near that again.
I don't remember
this. Right, we're summing up. Thank you for watching the worst movie podcast in the world, the Glass Onion episode. I thought we've had a good time. I think it's been fun. We've been talking about it. We've been going a little bit back and forth.
I hate all of you and never want to see it.
He hates us all. He'll see us next week, though.
Talking about it more than watching it.
I completely agree. And if you want to leave a comment, that'd be great. In fact, it'd be funny if someone actually did, because I don't know how many people actually watch this.
Leave a comment.
Leave a comment. Because
tell us what we could do better.
One of no one. So we'll focus all of our attention on you. So if you desperately need attention and are all lonely, please message us.
Negative, we will make you commit.
Yes.
Don't threaten
leave a like.
The viewers.
Watch the video. Subscribe. Negativity. Hit the little bell thing. I've heard that does stuff. I think that could be.
The bell pushes the videos. Helps us out a lot.
Exactly.
What's the bell thing?
If you put a bell, like ding, they get a notification every time.
It's a notification.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So there you go.
As well.
Thanks
I've got
for
some
watching.
more stuff to say.
He's got some more stuff to say.
We're
gonna lie. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Hopefully, watch this. Goodbye.